right, time for sports. Myra's here with that. Well,
Hudson, here we are, still 3 months away from lacrosse season, but huge news breaking in the Western Lacrosse Association today. Irish eyes have smiled down favorably on the Victoria Shamrocks. The Rocks have acquired WLA leading scorer Scott Ranger from the Nanaimo Timbermen.
It's my first trade in my career, so it's a little bit of an uneasy feeling, but you know, I like where I'm going. I think I've got a little bit of history in Victoria, and I'm excited about the opportunity.
Well, we haven't seen Ranger in Shamrocks green and white since his junior playing days. He spent all 8 years of his WLA career with his hometown Timbermen. Scoring goals is Ranger's specialty, so get ready to see him filling the net in Victoria. He is the two-time defending scoring leader, earning WLA MVP honors in 2011, and is consistently named a first-team All-Star. Ranger plays lacrosse full-time and helped lead the Calgary Roughnecks to the league championship in 2009. Not much missing from his lacrosse resume except a Mann Cup title. And Victoria is committed to making a run for the Cup this summer.
One of those things that we've been so close for so long in Nanaimo, and you know, it's just I'm not getting any younger, and I want an opportunity to, you know, kind of a guaranteed opportunity to get to the playoffs. And I think Victoria has a legit shot at winning the West and hopefully the Mann Cup. So, you know, and obviously the island travel is a lot easier than going to the mainland. So, you know, I have a lot of faith in that green and white, and hopefully we can, you know, put a run together here this year.
Well, you don't get much more Canadian than 5-pin bowling. The purely Canadian pastime hit the gutter in the South Island when Mayfair and Town and Country Lanes closed their doors 6 years ago. But the game is alive and well in Sydney, in the hands of this week's Island MVP. Here's Jordan Cunningham.
It's the same every time. You roll a ball down the lane at some pins, and you do it again. Success in bowling sounds simple, but once it hits the hardwood, it's out of your hands.
It can work perfectly sometimes, and sometimes it won't. And I can attest to that.
81-year-old George Coldwell has spent a lifetime bowling. Now he's seeing it all over again through the eyes of his star pupil.
I wish all my bowlers were like him. He listens. He's not afraid to try something.
It started when I went to a friend's birthday party, and it was at a bowling alley, and I just fell in love with it instantly.
And 8 years later, the party's still going. Thomas Sarin is the best 15-year-old bowler on Vancouver Island. The newly minted island champ punched his ticket to the BCs last weekend by the slimmest of margins.
I beat the other competition by very, very small fraction of points, like only by like 10 points, so I was very, very lucky to get in.
Luck will hopefully be on his side this weekend when Thomas represents the islands at the BC Championships in Kelowna. And if he gets into the zone, watch out.
When you get into the zone, you just get strike after strike after strike. It feels like you just aced like a pop quiz. It's the best feeling in the world.
Miracle Lanes in Sydney is the only place for 5-pin bowling in the South Island. The shoes might be cooler than before, but Thomas is a throwback to the golden age of bowling.
People might just think, oh, it's not a real sport, I'm not going to play it anymore. It's basically just a recreational activity. But that's not how the bowlers left here see it, and including me.
Thomas Zarin's passion for pins makes him this week's Island MVP. He's a member of the Saanich Youth Council and also is an avid filmmaker. In a 10-pin world, Thomas and George prefer the precision of 5.
The difference between a strike and a head pin is literally by a centimeter.
And it's a centimeter that cost his coach a perfect game way back in 1964.
What's your top score?
440.
Almost there.
I head pinned the last ball.
And Thomas's top score?
325. So, and a perfect game is 450. So, a bit off, trying to get that perfect game one day.
And George says that day will come.
If he keeps it up, he's going to be a good bowler. Real good.
Jordan Cunningham, CTV Sports, Sydney.
All right, well done, Jordan. Next Wednesday, another installment of Island MVP. Well, February has truly come with its highs and lows for the Victoria Royals. They started the month off with a season-high 5-game winning streak, but are currently mired in a 6-game losing skid. Can they stop the bleeding tonight when they host the Lethbridge Hurricanes?
You know, there's bumps and stuff in the road, and it happens with every team. I mean, hopefully we can stop the bleeding right now and before we get into playoffs here and get that momentum going again.
We're facing a desperate team. They've lost 6 in a row. They're fighting for their playoff lives right now. So we hopefully can expect a good emotional game tonight.
Well, good news, Captain Tyler Stahl returns to the lineup tonight. He watched the 2 losses to Kelowna from the media box with the rest of us. He spends more time up there than we do, actually. This time it wasn't due to a suspension for one of his signature punishing hits. Stahl was the latest stint was due to a puck he took off the knee. Manny Malhotra was out skating with the Canucks Scratches this morning. Yes, no, that doesn't mean that GM Mike Gillis has had a change of heart and is about to slot him back into the lineup. Simply that Malhotra wants to join his mates occasionally for skate. Now, Manny admitted to the media that it's been hard being away from the boys and accepting that his playing days in Vancouver are over. He also accepts Mike Gillis's decision to permanently put him on the injured reserve list, but he doesn't agree with it.
It's Mike's views and Mike's decision that he didn't feel that I was safe out on the ice. I don't agree with that, and again, it's a tough call to make just because of the fact I guess I'm the only one that could say how I feel out there and how vulnerable I might be to a big hit. But as far as the way I was feeling, I felt confident out there. I felt good. I felt like I was seeing the ice and seeing plays develop. So yeah, it's tough to hear someone else say that you're not allowed to go out there.
Did you pick Ryan Kessler in our pool?
I did not.
Well, somebody did, and he's out.
He broke his foot.
Broke his foot last night. He's gone for 6 weeks at least.
My son Hammy broke his foot too.
Well, that's no
I think
good.
Kess is copying him or something.
There you go.
Yeah, maybe.
Walking around with air casts.
That's what he thinks anyway.
Yeah, okay. See, it makes it cooler that way.
Yeah. All right, Brian, thank you.
You're welcome.